Well, hello guys and gals, it's me, your old buddy Mistermoose, back with a new game today, Empyrion, the Galactic Survival. Now, this game has been on Steam for a bit in pre-alpha, and just last week they moved it up to alpha, and I went ahead and picked up a copy of it because it does look very interesting. My buddy the Northern Alex has been playing it and doing some live streams with it. He sort of got me hooked on it, so I went ahead and grabbed it. I've been messing around with a little bit of it, and I thought, well, you know what, I'll do a let's play on it and take you guys along for the journey and see what you guys think about it. You'll either like it or hate it. We'll just see. It's basically an open world survival game where, you know, like Ark or any of these other games where you've got to forge through for resources and then do a whole bunch of crafting. You'll build a base, you'll build spaceships, and just you know, go around and fend off enemies and have some fun with the game. It's got a PvP aspect built into it. As you can see, you can do multiplayer, but we're going to be playing single player on it, and that's what we're going to do today. And basically we're going to start off with the tutorial so you guys can see how you play the game, and then we'll work our way up through it. Now, there are two game modes. There's survival and creative mode right now. Survival, that's just what it sounds like. You've got to go out, forage for food, resources, build a base, all that kind of good stuff. In creative mode, you can just build freely. You don't have to worry about finding food and resources or the enemy, so it's a little bit easier and you can just have fun and craft. You've also got two starting locations. You have a Kua, which is basically your easy mode. It has a breathable atmosphere on it when you start off. And then you have Omicron, which is a little bit harder. It has no atmosphere, breathable, so you're going to have to wear your suit the entire time, and you're going to have oxygen right off the bat. So that's what makes it a little bit more challenging. You really have to watch your oxygen levels when you're playing. So we are going to start on, like I said, we're going to play survival, and we're going to start on a Kua, and that's what we're going to do. Alright, so here we are coming into the atmosphere, and we've got our little ship here. Basically, we're in an escape pod, and we are making our way down to the ground. And man, we got a Promethean deposit right underneath us. Oh, lucky day. Oh, miniguns right around us as well. That's not oh, lucky day. Let's move over here as much as we can to give them a wide berth. So I'm just steering using my A and D keys. And we're gonna crash land. Touchdown! Alright, so we are on the planet's surface. We got to get out of our escape pad, and as you see up in the top, we use T to do so. And I want to look and see where those miniguns are, because they can be naughty. I'm gonna go ahead and get all the equipment out of here. We'll talk a little bit. I didn't plan on landing right next to so much hostility. So we kind of want to get, because those guys will come eat our lunch pretty quick. So let's get out of their eyesight, and I'll tell you a little bit about what's happening. So when you first come down to the ground, the first thing you got to do is unload your escape pod, get all your goodies out of it. And if you land in a place that's got a whole bunch of miniguns flying around, you kind of want to get out of there and get about at least 400 meters away from them. Otherwise, they will eat your lunch pretty quick. Basically, they're drones with cannons and miniguns on them, and they're not friendly at all. So I should have known they would be there when I saw a Prometheum deposit. What is Promethean? Promethean is like your energy source that you're going to be mining a lot of in this game. Oh, those guys. I can't believe I landed right there. Ooh, we discovered a cobalt deposit. That's good news. Alright. We get right over in this area over here. We should be okay. The dinosaurs that moo like cows. Alright. We might be alright in this area. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's move over here. Opposite side of this area. I probably should go and get my pistol out if I'm going to be running around. Go ahead and equip my flashlight. and a drill. Let's get over here away from those miniguns, and then we'll talk a little bit about this game. So, pretty cool little game here. Basically, you've crash landed on this planet. You've got a limited number of supplies, and now you gotta get yourself situated and basically build you a base and a ship so you can get out of here. So that's what we're going to be working on. Now we're going to start off. I'm going to run through some things with you. We're going to run through the HUD and a few bits and pieces of the game, and then we'll get into the actual crafting and this and that. All right, so if we look, we've got our hotbar over here, and this is where we can just drag and drop items like I did with the pistol. So you use the numerical keys. We've all used hotbars before. Y'all know what you're doing there. Down here, health, food, oxygen, stamina. Stamina will regenerate as long as you stand still for a second. If you get it all the way down to the very bottom, you're going to hear your heart trying to explode through your eardrums. So you got to stop and just let that regen. Your stamina comes down when you're doing like a lot of running and such. Oxygen, I've got my helmet on right now, so I'm breathing oxygen. But again, since there's a breathable atmosphere, I can go ahead and take that helmet off. And if we come back in, well, I thought I took it off. There we go. Now if we come back in, you see my beautiful head. And we're helmet free, so we're not taking oxygen anymore. Food. Your food bar will continuously go down. You need to eat something periodically to keep yourself up. You start off with 4 emergency rations. I highly suggest you don't use them unless you just absolutely have to. There's lots of food around. We'll get into how you collect food, how you eat, all that other stuff momentarily. The supplies you start off with your projectile pistol, which is a 50 cal. You got 150 bullets for it. You have a flashlight. You have a drill that is used for mining operations. And then you have 2 additional charges for it. We'll get into how that's used a little bit later. Filler flattening tool, that's just a terrain terraforming type device that you can use to smooth out where you're going to be building. You have a small med kit here that you can use for first aid. Some antidote pills if you get bit by like a spider or something like that. You use that to counteract the poisonous bite. Some purified water, a small oxygen bottle, and then we have these ingots. These are building supplies that we're going to use down the road to craft certain items. We got silicone, copper, iron, cobalt, magnesium powder, which is used to make ammunition, promethium pellets. That's the source for all your energy. It makes these little fuel packs. We have a work light, a big O2 bottle, an oxygen generator, a survival constructor, which is what we're going to use to build a bunch of stuff, a core, some growing pots, some plants, a growing light, a chainsaw, and some biofuel, and that's what we start off with. Alright, so looking on, we have a tech tree. These are items that we can build. We unlock more tech as we level on up. You start off at level 1, and then as you go to level 3, you'll get unlock points that you can unlock items with. Each vessel or base or building, whatever you're building, has a different tab here. So you'll see a capital vessel that's like a big spaceship for galactic travel. That is going to be have its tab. Items that you will use to build a base. A small vessel like a small ship that will take us from the surface out to, into orbit. Then we've got miscellaneous tab for different things that we can use as we build. A hover vessel, which is more of a surface vessel that travels around, it goes about 3 meters off the surface, and that's about it. Then you've got your tools. You got drills, flattening tools, removal and repair. We'll get into all this stuff as we go through. And then weapons, you've got all kinds of different guns that we'll be able to use along the way. We'll open those up as we begin to level up. So those are the different blueprints or plans that we'll be able to make down the road, and things that we'll have to unlock as we level up. But the first thing we need to do is we need to start doing some of these little side missions to level up, get our XP going. Factions is if you're doing PvP, you can get on a certain faction. If you're playing with friends, you'll want to be in the same faction. That way everybody can access the same base. Your PDA, that's going to get you a lot of information about these little tasks that are listed over here. And then blueprints, there are blueprints that you can get from the Steam Workshop, as well as some preloaded stuff for some different things like bases, starter tier 1 vehicles that you can build or have built for you based upon the blueprints that were loaded in. Yeah, or you can just build your own stuff, which I prefer to build my own stuff, so that's what we're going to be doing. Alright. So let's get into leveling and get some stuff going down. Now again, you come into your PDA and you'll see over here content, chapter 1, survival base. Check your starting equipment, which we already did. We grabbed everything. The next thing is place your survival constructor, and that's what we're going to use to build with. And I want to put it someplace kind of in a relative flat area. This isn't too bad. I like to build on the side of a hill, but it's kind of a challenge. So we're going to stay down here, kind of close to the water, build right in this area. So to use it, I'm going to go into my inventory here. I'm going to find the survival construction here. I have to drag it over here to my bar. Once it's on the bar, I can select it, and then I can place it anywhere where the box around it is blue. If it's red, no go. So we'll just drop it right there. That's good enough. And now we can go in and access it. Now this is basic crafting. Add crafting materials, add fuel pack templates, start production. So if you're wondering what that's all about, you can always go into your PDA, consult your PDA, and get a more detailed description on what you need to do. So for like this first thing that we need to do, it says, basic crafting. To start crafting basic items, access the survival constructor. With the T button, hold the shift and the left mouse to click on resources in your inventory. This will transfer them into constructor's inventory. It will then tell you that you need to add some fuel templates in. Add them in, and we're going to make 20 templates in our construction queue. And it just tells us how to go about that, and there's some information here. I'm not going to read all this to you. I'm just going to give you the basic overview. But I want to show you that as you're playing the game, if you see this over here, you're not really sure what it means, you can always come and read this and get detailed information that'll help you through the quest that you're about to do. So for us, we're going to hit T to open up the constructor. We're going to grab all these crafting materials, and to get them to pop right over into the inventory, I hold down the shift button and just left click on them. They'll automatically drift over. Just like so, and I completed that little task that it had me doing. Next thing, I need to add fuel packs. So it wants me to make 20 of these fuel packs, which uses the Promethean pellets to make fuel packs, and it told me it wanted to make 20 of them. Now to make 20, I could hit this 20 times with the left mouse button, or if I hold down shift and click once, it adds 10. I click again, it'll add 10 more, and there's my 20. And then all I have to do is turn the constructor on by hitting the off button up here to on, and it's going to start crafting for us. So when these craft, it will put them back up here into the inventory, and if I want to move them onto my player, I just drag them over to my player. Now, I don't need that. I'm just going to let it begin to craft. The next thing I need to do now is start the oxygen supply. And the task will tell me that I need to take the O2 generator to water, place it in the water, put a couple of power cells into it, and start it producing oxygen. It makes big oxygen bottles that we'll use later on down to refill our suit, and small oxygen bottles. So if we come down here to the water, we need to find a place where we can set our little oxygen generator into the water here. And it says no oxygen because I'm not wearing a helmet. I need to turn my helmet on if we're going to go diving. I'm not really going to go diving. I'm just going to drag this thing over into my bar so I can use it. I'm going to place it some down here where it's underneath the water, but not way down away. Basically wherever it turns blue, which is right there. Alright, now I need to put some power supplies in it, and I do the same thing by hitting T. Opens it up. I grab my fuel pack. If I click on it one time, I can drag it around, and I can plop it into a spot just by pressing in there. Or if I only want to put a couple in there, I can right click and it'll put an individual unit in the hole. There we go. And by doing that, now I got a couple of power cells in there, and it's off to the races. I'm going to put one more additional unit in there. That'll get it to run in for an hour and 13 minutes. It'll make the next oxygen bottle in 106 seconds, and it'll be a 80% source quality. And it makes these big blue oxygen bottles here. They'll come in useful later on when we start building an oxygen supply unit. And that'll come in when we start building a base. In the meantime, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to access this guy here. And I'm going to throw some of the resources that I don't really need right now in here. Like I'm going to throw this core in there. I don't need it. I don't need the growing pots or any of these. Growing lights, sprouts, biofuel. Don't really need the chainsaw right now. So those things I'm just going to throw over there. And I think at this point we're pretty good. We can go ahead and move on. And that's got our 20 fuel packs done. So that is finished producing. So at this point we need to go pick up some plants. So it wants us to go out and gather edible plants and medical plants. So we're going to move around the area and we're going to look for plants that we can harvest. And the way we know we can harvest is if we put our crosshairs over it and it turns yellow, up in the top it'll say press T to pick, and we'll pick it. And we got some fiber that time. Not edible. That's more of a medical thing, but it's not listed as medical. Basically, fiber and aloe vera is used to make bandages. So we're just going to cruise around through here and look for plants that we can pick that will be edible or used in making medicine. Let's see, sugarcane. That sounds edible. Oh, I see some corn dog plants. Ooh, I am finding all kinds of deposits. Copper deposit. Man, wow, I'm hitting the mother lode now. Alright, so these little things here are called corn dogs. If we only had mustard and ketchup, they'd be yum yum, right? So we'll grab those. They are edible. And we need to find some medical plants as well. Which we're looking for these tall green things over here. These are called pixie sticks, I think. Pixie stalk bundle. Click on that. That'll give us our medical that we need. And we've completed our items. I'm going to grab some of these aloe vera plants while we're here. Because we can use those to craft some bandages. We want to grab all that fiber as well. You don't want to grab up too much of this stuff because it does perish after a little bit of time. What is that? Oh, that's that little slime dude. I sort of want to stay away from him. He'll attack you. Alright, so let's scoot around him. Give him a wide berth. As I don't really want to get into a gunfight unless I have to. Alright, consume an item. So, next thing I need to do is eat something. I don't really like the consumption items in this. Nothing stacks as far as the things that you pick, like the corn dogs. If I pick 6 corn dogs, they don't stack on one another. They go into your inventory as individual items. And you consume them as individual items, which is kind of, well, it's sort of annoying. Because you got to put them on the bar one at a time. And they have to be on the bar before you consume them. So the way that you consume something is, you go to the inventory, you drag it over here and drop it on the bar, close your inventory, hit the number 8, and then hit your left mouse button and you eat it, and you're done. If you need to consume more than one though, you got to do the whole thing all over again. It's sort of annoying, as I just said, annoying. But that fulfills our obligation to eat something, and now we have to go slaughter an animal. So one thing I think I've picked up on this game is these dinosaurs have a different color to them. There's some black ones and some green ones. The black ones, when you shoot them, they tend to run. Whereas the green ones, when you shoot them, they'll charge you. I'd rather them charge me. I'd rather them charge me and run away from them than to have to chase them halfway across the map. I didn't hold my shift button down and run away fast enough, but I got him. Alright, so we can access his inventory by hitting T again. He's full of meat, and we'll just shift and click and have all that pop over. Or you can use this arrow here and you push everything over as well. Always remember to reload your gun after you kill an animal. Alright, so now that we've killed a dinosaur and gotten his Bronto Burger meat off of him, Flintstones reference, we will come over here to our constructor, access it with T. We'll move all of our meat over. Shift left click again to pop it over. We have 5 pieces of it, and it's telling us to cook some steak or salami. Now, if we come up here to templates at the top, this is where everything that you're going to craft is listed. You've got food and medical, weapons and items. You've got building blocks, components, devices, and decoration blocks. We're going to be going to food and medical, and we have 2 things that we can craft with meat. We can do grilled steak or salami. Basically, the 2 of them are exactly the same with the exception of perish time and stamina. The grilled steak has a lower perish time. It will spoil in 25 minutes, but it gives you 20 additional stamina when you consume it. Whereas the salami only gives you 10 stamina, but it has a longer perish time of 70 minutes. So I tend to use it. They're the exact same amount of meat. The salami will keep better, which is really important right now because you don't have a refrigerator and things will spoil pretty quick on you, so you want to have something that's not going to spoil immediately. I'm going to move my aloe vera over as well. I've got 4 of those, and then I've got all this fiber up here, and like I said, aloe vera and fiber will make bandages. I'm going to go ahead and add, oops, not 20 of those. Doesn't really matter. It can only make what's in there, so I'll just leave the 20 in there, and as soon as it makes the 4 that are available, it will kick it all out. And we'll get some bandages made up, and that way if we do shoot another dinosaur and it bites us, we will have a little bit of bandage. The bandages, they restore about 80 health when you get bit, so that's good for you. Now if you get bit by a spider though, the antidote pills are what you need because they'll counter the poison that you get if you get bit by a spider. And with all that said, 1 more bandage and we'll be good to go. We'll move a couple of salami over here. So this is what I'm talking about. We'll move all the salami over. And the salami only does 100 health or 100 food. Our food's pretty low right now. So if I go into inventory, you can see what your numbers are. You can see we're at 330 of 500. So if I hit 100, or if I eat 100 food, it's not going to get me all the way up. So we're going to go ahead and consume a little salami. Now again, to eat it, I got to put it over here on the bar. I got to escape out, select 8, left click on my mouse to eat it. And then if I want to get another one ready to eat, I got to go back into inventory, drag it over, drop it. You get my point. I think they could do a little bit better. Food should be able to stack in some sort of stacks, and you ought to be able to put a stack on your bar. Just like you're able to put a stack of bandages, you got to be able to put a stack of food on there. Alright, so that is that. Next we need to craft an assault rifle and craft some ammo. Look at our inventory. We're at level 3. So now to craft our weapon, we come back over here to the constructor. We hit T to access it. We go to templates. We go to weapons and items, and we look for the assault rifle. It's not here though. That's because we haven't unlocked it yet. So we need to go into our inventory, and we go to the tech tree. We'll come over to weapons, and at level 3 we unlock the assault rifle, and to craft it we have to learn it though. So to unlock that, we have an available unlock points of 25. We can go ahead and unlock this. It's going to use a little bit of our points. So we'll go ahead and unlock that. Use 6 points out of our unlock points, but now we can make an assault rifle. That will now add into the constructor the ability to make the assault rifle as well as the ammo for it. So to make the assault rifle, you notice it's got a red tint to it. That means we don't have the items necessary to craft it made up right now. So that's the first thing we have to do. We have to craft the items to craft the assault rifle. So we're going to start off, and over on the right hand side it shows me input items, metal components times 5, and electronics times 1. So I need 5 metal components and 1 electronics. And to build that, I go to the components tab, and now you'll see I've got all my stuff I can make over here. There's metal components and electronics. Now you have to pay close attention to these items that you're going to make, because if you think, well, I need 5 of these, and you slam 5 down real quick, it's going to use more resources than you actually need to do. Because if we look on the side, it shows us that the input items are iron ingot, cobalt ingot, but it only requires, for that, it'll actually give us 2 of the item out. So for the 5, we only actually have to make 3 times. And that'll give us 6. So we got 3 of those making. Electronics is the same way. 1 copper, 1 silicone ingot gives us 2 electronics. So we'll just click that 1 time. And once that's all done cooking, we can then go over to the assault tab. This will turn regular, and we can actually craft it. I've gone ahead and added it into the queue. As soon as the electronics finishes, this will actually lose the red tint and be something that we can craft. And there it goes. Now the next thing we got to do is we got to make some bullets for it. It is a fully automatic weapon, so we want to make a lot of them. I recommend about 100 to get you started. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to look and see what I need for it. I need 5 metal pieces, and I need magnesium powder, and for that I will get 25 bullets from those resources. So if I want to get 100, I have to multiply that recipe times 4, which means I need 20 metal pieces and I need 8 magnesium powders. So if I come over to consumables, metal pieces is different from metal components. Metal pieces, 5 iron ingots makes 10 of them. I need 20, so we'll make that recipe twice. And then our magnesium powder we already have made up, so all we got to do is let that craft, and then we can make 4 stacks of bullets. So we'll click that 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and as soon as the parts are done, the bullets will get made and we'll be ready to slaughter something. And we'll have our weapon upgrade complete, and we move on to the next task in the tutorial. So basically this is just getting you comfortable with using the constructor to craft items, learning how to use your tech tree. And again, if at any point you have any questions, you just go into your PDA and you read up on what you're doing. Again, under the weapons upgrade, it will walk you straight through and tell you exactly what you need to do. It will tell you how many rounds you need to make. So it says 50 to 75. I like 100. So yeah. The next thing it's going to have us do is go do some mining and to pick up some ore. So now that our gun is done and our bullets are made up, we'll go ahead and grab that assault rifle. I'm going to grab it and put it over here on 3. Put my drill on 4. And as soon as this last thing of bullets is made up, we'll drop all the ammunition into our side. Now it's over here. I just hit shift and the left click on it. Threw it over into my inventory. I'm going to get all this stuff over here because I don't need it. And we are good to go do some mining. Alright. So we need to go do a little bit of mining. And I want to go somewhere safe. So I don't want to go over there for the Promethean. We're here. Cobalt ore is here. Or actually, yeah, we're here. The cobalt ore is here. There's copper ore here. There's iron ore here. There's another iron deposit here. And then there's the Promethean, which eventually we will mine, but not right now because it had too many drones around it. There's also silicon there. Wow, we unlocked a lot. Cool. We're going to run over here to this cobalt deposit and see what we can get out of it. I don't really feel like getting shot at. If we go for that Promethean, we're going to get shot at. So, cobalt it is. So we got to go around this up and over or around. I think we'll go up and over. So as you can see on our HUD, real quick over here on the right, you've got your map. You can see that the mine is right here. It shows up just in the distance. It's 11 hours and 2 minutes until the sun pops up, so we're going to be in the dark. But I'm not worried about it. There's no bumping uglies out there, except for that little spider-looking thing, probably. And we're going to go get some ore. And down in the bottom right-hand corner, it tells me how many projectiles I have in my pistol. And we should go ahead and switch over to our assault rifle, because it has a flashlight on it. And we need to reload it. And we'll start making our way up and over this mountain. Now, one of the nice things you have a jetpack on your back. To activate it, you hit J. So if you're climbing up over a mountain and at any time you get kind of hung up, you can hit J to turn it on. And then you hit your space bar. And it'll give you a brief burst of energy and launch you up in the air so that you can jump up over the mountain. This might not have been a good idea. That's alright, we can get down. We can use our jetpack to get down. Oh, this might not be a good idea. Yeah, we'll get down. Just gotta be a little bit safe about it. Oh yeah, we're gonna make it. A little creative use of the jetpack there. Alright. Now you see that little red arrow that's showing up on my mini map down in the southwest corner? That's those drones that are over there. They're a pretty good distance away from me and I want them to stay over there. I don't want to aggravate them and have them coming around me. Well, I tried to run, my jetpack was still on. You can only run when your jetpack is off. Alright. Ooh, beans. The kava bean, those are used to make coffee. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Alright, so we're going to work our way over here to this cobalt deposit. And the closer we get to it, now this stuff is buried underground, so we're going to have to mine it out. So we're right on top of it now. So here's the deal, when you go to mine, you're going to use your drill. It's a laser drill. It has two stages of it. It has a high pulse, which is the left mouse button, and a weaker pulse, which is your right mouse button. The weaker one doesn't do as extreme damage to the earth, whereas the left one just bores right down through it. Both of them supposedly give you the same amount of ore. The left button obviously uses more energy than the right. If you look at our ammo down in the right hand corner, we have 750 charges on this drill, and then we have 2 additional refills on it. The one little tip I will give you is when you're drilling, be very careful not to hit your reload key when you're trying to collect the ore that you're getting out of here, because to collect the ore you use T and to reload you use R. They're right next to each other and it's really easy to screw up and hit R instead of T and go through your drill charges real quick, so be real careful about that. Now I don't like to drill straight down here and make myself this big huge hole, so what I like to do is kind of move off at a distance, sort of aim down at it, and then start breaking the ground down so that I'm sort of tunneling down to it and making my way down. And that way, as I start digging deeper and deeper down, I'll have a way to get out of here as I start to tunnel this out. So, all right. So we'll start busting this away, and you can see the ground changes color right here. Now it's got some blue vein in it. That means we've now struck cobalt. And so as we start to pound away at that vein and reveal more and more of it, we'll start to get these chunks down here at the bottom of cobalt. And if we hit T, we'll grab it, put it into our inventory, and we've completed a task. And again, we're just gonna pound away at this. Tunneling away. Busting it up, pause for a minute. Collect your ore. Ore and rock. If you get some crushed rock, that's good too. Again, we've made this little tunnel in here. And I want to keep pounding this way back out so that I do have a way to get out of here later on down the road. I don't want to tunnel straight to China or whatever city might be on the other side of it. I mean, it's not that important because you do have your jetpack that you can help get you out of a hole, but you don't want to get yourself so deep down in there that you can't get out. So just be aware of that when you're tunneling. Alright, and we'll just kind of just start working our way around, bashing this vein. And I like to tend to just push forward on it, see how wide it is before I start going deep. And there I hit R. I wasn't paying attention, and I just wasted a reload. And yeah, the reason I tell you be careful about that is you'll do something stupid like I just did, and you'll end up wasting half of a reload. Once you change out, it doesn't go back into your inventory like as a half of a load somewhere. You use that drill charge, which really stinks because now I don't have that additional drill charge, and I'll have to craft a new one. Crafting a new one means I got to use some promethium, and again, the more promethium I use, the less I have for other stuff down the road. Alright, so making sure I still got a route out of here. And again, like I said, I tend to like to move forward when I mine and find out how far the vein goes wide before I start tunneling down. It's easier to do in the daylight too. Alright, so we'll collect all this up. Yeah. I do have a work light I can set down. It doesn't seem to do a whole lot of good. There we go. There's my route out of here. And again, that way, by going forward, I'm not digging down so fast and getting all the way to the bottom of it. Now down in the bottom left hand, you can see I've only gotten like 11% of the ore out of here. There's still 864 ore in here. So it does take a while to do this. And that's another reason why you don't want to waste all of your drill charges doing something stupid like reloading before that you've actually used the entire thing. So be careful not to hit that R button. Okay. Man, somehow I had my helmet on. Oh, I put my helmet on when I went in the water. That's the reason why. Inventory. I wonder if I can use that small oxygen bottle. There There we go. It gives me a little oxygen, though I shouldn't need it. Because again, I'm on a breathable atmosphere. Wow, we've made quite a little crater here, hadn't we? Nice. Alright, so I think that's going to be all the mining that we're going to do for today. We don't have to clean this thing out right now, but it gets us a start. We know where this mine's at, and we can always come back and get more. Eventually down the road, we'll come over here and we'll really mine this thing out. But this was a start to introduce us to mining. We have plenty of resources right now that we'll be able to, we'll pretty much be able to make whatever we need. And then eventually, only after we get our base built and get our first vehicle made will we actually need to start really getting serious about doing some mining. So we'll make our way back, and I'm going to take the opposite way over this mountain this time. Turn my flashlight on. So I can't go any higher. I'm going to turn my jetpack on, boost myself up over this mountain. There we go. Got my flashlight on so I can see where I'm going. And up in the mini map, I can align myself with where my survival machine is at. There we go. Turn that off. Alright, so we'll make our way down. Careful, don't want to kill ourselves. Better turn my jetpack on again. In case I need to... Ooh, be careful of descending. There's not too much gravity on this planet, so it's not too bad coming down. Alright. So we knocked that out, and as you can see over on the right hand side, it is time to start building a base. And we need to make a base starter and start setting up a base. And we're going to do that in our next episode. Because look at the time, we're running a bit long here, and I don't want to start that because it's going to take a while to build a base. So we'll go ahead and take our ore, we'll bring it in here. I'll show you the refining process for ore. We collected 120 ore in that little process. I'll move it over. Now ore refining, you go into the components, you select the component that you need to refine, which this is cobalt. So we selected cobalt ingot, and it shows us that it takes 5 ore to make 10 ingots, which that's pretty good. You'll be able to get a lot of ingots really fast. A mine like that has about 1,000 ore in it, so you do the math and you can tell that you're going to get a really good yield out of it. So we got 120 here, so that's going to be quite a yield for us. So let's go ahead and set that up to run 24 times. So we'll set that up with 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that'll yield us 240 ingots. So that's pretty good yield. And that's a lot of crafting that we'll be able to do down the road. So yeah, in our next adventure, we will start to set the base up. We'll start by creating a base starter cube. To do that, it has to have the cube, and we put a core in it. We'll slap that down, and then we'll start building out some blocks, get a foundation set, start putting in our large constructor, oxygen, all kinds of goodies, generator, fuel system. We'll start really getting a base going, and we'll do that in our next edition. If you like the video, guys, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and make sure you comment below if you want to see some more of Empyrion. I know for sure we'll do at least 2 or 3 more episodes, because I want to do one on base building, want to do one on building a hovercraft, and then we'll go from there. If you guys enjoy it, then we'll continue to do it. We'll do a little, we'll build ourselves a spaceship and do some exploration. And but I will say this, it takes a lot of time in this game. The crafting is slow going, and then you've got to do all the resource gathering as well. You got to get food so you don't starve. So just keep in mind that it's quite the ordeal. It will take time, but we'll have some fun doing it. And it might be one of those things that I live stream one night, where we knock out a big chunk of doing some stuff in a live stream. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the little first look at it. We'll do another episode very soon. Until the next time, guys, stay safe. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. See ya. Bye-bye. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you consider giving it a like, maybe even sharing it with your friends. It does help me out a tremendous amount and is greatly appreciated. Also, leave some comments down below. That's really the only way I can gauge if you guys are enjoying what's being put out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want daily notifications. I try to do a new video each and every day. Also, if you want to stay in touch with me and find out what's going on, our social links are down in the bottom left-hand corner. Twitter is where I usually announce schedule changes, live streams, and new video releases. Facebook's a great way to get in touch with me if you have any questions to ask. And of course, I am trying to get to 1,000 followers on Google+, which I know I'll probably be old and gray before that happens. But if you can jump over there and follow me, it would be super awesome. So if you like today's video, there's a whole lot more content on the channel. I hope you'll browse through it, find something to keep yourself entertained until the next video or live stream. Speaking of live streams, I try to do them nightly around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Until the next time, thanks again for watching. See you soon.